Hi guys! Can we just talk about the importance of being in a relationship that makes you feel good as a person? Because finally starting to come out of this mental darkness and confusion, because I've experienced over time, literally, that I pick people who don't make me feel very good. Or at least, I've been picking relationships that aren't good for me. And maybe, looking back, they're good for me for certain reasons. They taught me this, they taught me that. But, I'm learning the pattern that I tend to follow in relationships. And when I've said, I'm, wrapping up a cycle, it's exactly what I'm fucking doing, listen to these numbers, Okay, so I've had 3 serious relationships since before becoming an adult. Okay, so 15. I was 15 when I got with my first serious relationship. So I've had 3 serious relationships, okay, in this time frame of 15 to 26 years old. 3 different serious relationships. I've created life in each of those relationships. Each of these 3 relationships lasted 3 years. Okay? Literally almost to the T. Okay, actually not. That's generalized. About 3 years. About 3 years. So there's this pattern, right, of 3 years move, 3 years move, 3 years move. And 2 of them have been my choice initially to leave the relationship. But one of them fucked me up because I was not ready to let go when it happened. And it took me a year, you guys, with that one to move past it and get over it. It took me a year. I was such a hoe during that phase. That might have been why it took me a year. Is because how much I was avoiding it and trying to stuff it down or, make it go away with the attention of somebody else. But of course, that was only temporarily. Anyway, so I feel like a lot of us deal with this where we get into this pattern, we get into a pattern that we just continue to do over and over again. Even though we'll learn a hard-ass lesson, it's almost like that lesson is unconscious, we're not being mindful, we're not being aware of it. And so we repeat that lesson. Everybody knows that if you learn a lesson and you don't actually apply it to your life, you don't change something about it to avoid that, the lesson will repeat itself. Right? So I feel like, 3rd time's a charm. And it's so funny, I used to say that about my ex. 3rd time's a charm. Now he's an ex. Anyway, but I'm really just getting this big picture, really just thinking big, right? I feel like we all deal with this where we just repeat a cycle. I had to repeat it 3 fucking times and experience 3 different heartbreaks before I'm finally whoa, I need to have some serious standards. Okay? And I'm not trying to talk shit on my exes, but I'm just saying over time it has proven to me that these people are not good for me. even the one that left me, like, we were both falling out of love. Like, it wasn't just one or the other. I just wasn't ready to give up yet. I wasn't ready to give up yet. So, that one fucked me up. But, see? Yeah, talking about this shit gets me tense as a motherfucker. If you couldn't hear the fucking garbage truck. There's a garbage truck, number 17. Random. Anyway. So, I feel like especially in love, you guys, we get wrapped up in these cycles where, like, we have to repeat the lesson over and over and over again before we finally get it. And I'm to that point where I'm finally getting it. And I am being super motherfucking picky because of how much I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, every single one of these relationships drained me in a very fundamental way. Okay, I had to gain myself back afterwards type shit. Like, I straight up lost myself in the relationship, lost myself to somebody else. And I feel like I could attribute this to many reasons, personally, of why I've been attracted to that, or I've been drawn to these kinds of experiences with these people. And I'm looking at it like, these don't even necessarily have to, my exes don't have to be bad people. Like, I feel like a lot of us do that where we're like, oh, they're just terrible now. And it's like, you loved that person before. You were completely over hills for that person. Did you completely, did you completely forget the good in that person? It is hard because I've had my exes get very, don't say the J word, jealous. And that's human. It is. I get it. And so I really get it. But, like, 2 of my exes have gotten super fucking nasty. And I have children with these exes. And 2 of them have gotten super fucking nasty towards me after the breakup. And so, I just evaluate, like, wow, to that capacity, they are capable of, trying to hurt me. And it's fucked. And so I'm like, okay, if I'm picking these kinds of people that can treat other people that way, not to mention their fucking baby mama, like, you need to respect your baby mama. Like, I don't care what happened, why you fell off, this, that, or the other. People, we loved these people. Okay, and I know people make mistakes, and I know they make bad choices, but, like, we should never hold our children against our exes, hold them above, try to manipulate the situation with some kind of power grabbing. Like, that's some toxic ass shit, okay? And both of my exes have done that to me. One still does. One finally got off the horse and fucking dropped it. Finally. But literally it's been like 7 years since we've been together. More than 7 years. And now he's finally, gotten off that high horse and been like, why am I... There was so much energy wasted in bickering and arguing back and forth all the fucking time. It drove me absolutely insane. And I'm not just blaming it on him. I mean, obviously an argument involves 2 fucking people, but, like, when you start it 90% of the time... Anyway, that's not the energy anymore, okay? But me and my second ex have been broken up for, how long is it now? 4 years? That was quick. 4 years. It's been 4 years, and that's the one that fucked me up, right? And I think it fucked me up so hard, not just the fact of, it was like, he left, but how he left, and then he jumped right into a relationship with a coworker that I was already suspicious of, and so, it fucked with me hard, okay? And so it's been 4 fucking years. He's still on one. He still treats me like shit. me breaking up with my most recent ex, which is number 3, right? Number 2 has taken it upon himself to go out of his way to treat me like shit. And I'm just like, when do we grow up? 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 And I'll take the time right now because literally my ex's girlfriends stalk my social media. Both of them do. Both of them do. I fucking know it. And like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I want to take the time right now to mention how it got so bad between me and number 2 that his girlfriend at the time, now she's his wife, but his girlfriend at the time really nailed into me over Facebook message, and she harassed me on and off for a couple years or so, or you know, a year or so, and I was just like, and then she would message me and then block me, so anyway, so like, this is how bad it got. I had to get a restraining order on her because I had to establish that fucking boundary, okay? And me establishing that boundary of like, you cannot cross this fucking line, bitch, because she really said some fucked up shit. And yes, it's just words, but there was also a lot of negative intention behind it, and she had to be put into her place in some way without me beating her ass. She had to be put in her place in a way that protected my children and, you know, was the best option overall. So I got a restraining order on her. She tried to fight that restraining order. Straight up showed up to court with my ex and tried to fight it. Well, she didn't get it. I got a year's restraining order on her. But that's how bad it was, okay? That's how bad it was. And I feel like me as a person, of course, that's not my first go-to, is to put a restraining order on somebody. Like, I've had lots of people fucking talk shit. Don't give a fuck. But it was the nature of it. It was what she said. She even brought my kids into it, talking some shit on my kids, which are her stepkids now. So she's completely lost my trust. But it's not my job to trust her. Really, right? It's not my choice. Like, I can. Regardless of whether I trust her, it doesn't matter. But anyway, so wanted to take the time to say I had to fucking really learn about boundaries and self-respect within these dynamics with these exes who are very ill-intended towards me. Sometimes it is, but like, they just hate me, and I feel like that it's unjustified. I have not given them reasons to hate me and to treat me like that. They don't have to like some things that they don't have to like everything that I've done. They can dislike things that I've done and choices that I've made, but like, you loved me at one point, bitch. Like, why you gotta treat me like this now? Oh, to prove to your girlfriend, wife, fiance, whatever, like, and hurting the kids in the process and not giving a fuck about it. Not giving a fuck about it. See, this is some toxic ass shit. This is the shit I'm talking about, you guys. And so I'm realizing, you know, just how toxic these relationships have gotten, and even the toxicity of them while in the relationship, right? Just becoming very mindful and aware of that. Because I'm closing out this cycle, I literally had 3 relationships, 3 years each, within, how does that fit? Because I was single for like a year in between, but like a 9 to 10 year span, okay? 3, Ariel, you gonna get it yet? You know what I mean? So like, the main point of me talking about my life and perhaps helping you with yours through that is that we've got to break the fucking chain, bro. And we need to realize just how good it feels to break that fucking chain, because I've lost myself within these relationships, had to find myself back again. So I'm on the 3rd time of finding myself again, and I'm like, when does it end, Ariel? When do you not lose yourself in a relationship? When does the pattern stop? Well, it stops with me. And so, yeah, there's been a lot of this talk and feeling about this end of a karmic cycle. Feel like it's like the doors are closing. Like I felt like, you know, maybe I was staring at the doors for a long time, but I've finally stepped through and the doors are closing. Like I've literally hit this point where I'm like, it ain't gonna be just anybody, okay, that I welcome back into my life. I'm going and am being so fucking picky. So fucking picky. The pickiest ever. Because I know what I want. And I know what I motherfucking don't want. And that's why relationship 3 had to happen. Because relationship 3 fulfilled some wishes, but I was left emotionally unfulfilled. So like the materialistic side of it, the abundance of it, the bills are paid and we have what we need, plus we can do what we want. Like that was really nice. And like having, you know, a reliable car, and if it broke down, we had the money to fix it, and the kids never went without anything because of having to pay this bill or that bill, or you know what I mean? Like I've been pretty fucking broke in my adult life before, and in my first 2 relationships, but it's like it's improved over time. But anyway, so my last relationship was super materialistically abundant, and I remember wanting that when I was looking for another relationship before I found number 3. I was like, I want somebody that's fucking stable, that's gonna bring stability in, and that's absolutely what he did. It's what he did. It's the best thing that he did. You know, he was really good at it. He got a house that fit all of us and everything, you know, like stability. Yes, please and thank you. He had that shit on lock. But I did not feel love to the capacity in which I felt that I deserved to be loved, and to the capacity that I feel like I love him or love others. You know, like I need my intensity of love reciprocated back to me. I've learned that the very hard way, that I need that reciprocated back to me. And if somebody does not do that for me, I cannot do it. I mean, there's lots of other boxes to tick, and it's not about, you know, like build a boyfriend. It's about knowing what I fucking want and what I don't and what I don't motherfucking want, okay? And so I've learned a lot of what I don't fucking want, and learned a lot of how my energy and my intention and my ignorance has gotten me to certain points in my life every 3 years, and it's time to break the fucking cycle. And so I'm sharing it with you guys, you know, like, and hopefully this inspires you to break your fucking cycle. Like, these toxic relationships that we attract when we are broken and unhealed within ourselves, it's no bueno. We're done. That she's dead. We 2021 bitches. You know what I mean? Like, there's no fucking around anymore. And I feel like a lot of people are on this energy. A lot of people are like, no, I know what I fucking want. Or at least I know what the fuck I don't want. And I feel like a lot of people have raised in their vibration through coronavirus bullshit. Nobody wants to hear about my opinion on the coronavirus, okay? I'm not saying it's not real, but I am very suspicious of where it came from. And the numbers. Very suspicious of the numbers. I'm not saying people haven't died from it. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm very suspicious of the official numbers. I don't feel like they're right. Like every time since the beginning of time, something sits wrong with me about corona. And so anyway, but okay, so the corona thing happened, and I think it was intentionally released. Anyway, intentionally released, right? It was like a control tactic. We knew this was coming, you guys. Everybody's talked about how something could just wipe us out. A plague could just wipe us out. And, you know, I feel like the most powerful people in this world really tried. And it's still going on. And so I'm not disregarding the tragedies of the deaths related to COVID. I'm just saying I don't trust the numbers and the officials, not the officials, but like the officiality that's portrayed that COVID is. Some things are off. But anyway, so I feel this was intentionally done by some very powerful people to control. And what's funny is like there is control in play here, obviously, with all the restrictions and stuff related to COVID-19. But it has triggered a fucking revolution. It is true. I mean, the revolution's been on the rise. A lot of us have already been a part of the revolution energy, right? But like everybody having to like shut down and go in, get laid off from their jobs and stay home. Everybody turned in. I'm getting so many goosebumps right now. Not like everybody, but a lot of people turned inward and went, whoa, what makes me happy? What do I want to do with my life? What am I doing with my life? Damn, I spend so much time at that desk, at this job, blah, blah, blah. What, if I woke up today and did what I wanted to, what made me happy, what would that be? You know, like, I feel like a lot of people went hermit mode. And I mean, obviously, but like in a very good way. It raised consciousness like nothing else could have. Ooh, goosebumps. So COVID has its part to play in literally human evolution because of what it triggered. And I love that it triggered this because spirituality is fucking skyrocketing. Everybody's, you know, that everybody's into that. Everybody's like, yes, find answers, find clarity, find inner peace and love and radiate that, and let's change the world. Like a lot of people are hopping on that energy now, and I feel like a big trigger of like a mass number of people doing that instead of just the trickle of people that were already, you know, trickling in to do that. It really amped it up. And so I love that about COVID-19, which is weird. You wouldn't think you would hear those words in the same sentence, love and COVID-19, right? But I love what it triggered. And I feel like it is very important in the human collective raising its awareness and its consciousness on so many levels. But yeah, got off on a different topic. That's fine. Air sign. But so yeah, initially I just wanted to get on and just talk about how our energy at certain periods of our life attract certain people and attract lessons to us, and we will continue to attract that kind of energy, those kinds of people to us and those lessons to us until we fucking learn the lesson, okay? And I feel like a lot of us are kind of at this end of this karmic cycle with this year 2021. Like we're closing out old shit, opening up new doors. Like that's what we're doing as a collective. Like I feel like obviously I'm not the only one dealing with that and going through that, but I just think we need to be super mindful of what doors we're opening, because we don't want to open a door that leads us to another past experience. Okay, right? So we have to change. Yay! We have to take responsibility for our lives and our perception and our reaction and our emotions. And that's how we initiate the change, is when we take responsibility for it. Like if we see something bad in the world, like police brutality, yeah, that energy really hit, right? But what are you doing about it? How do you feel about it? What are you doing about it? And a lot of people I mean, it's good to have dreams and go out and make a big difference, but I feel like a lot of us don't realize how influential it is to make the difference within us. So obviously what seems like it's not in our control, this police brutality problem where police are killing people, but not just, I mean, all kinds of people, but especially people of color, and unjustifiably, right? I'm not saying just people of color, but I'm saying, holy fuck, that scared me. My daughter just scared. But, okay, so how do we make a difference here and now? We make the difference within.
Mama,
You want to watch this movie?
yeah.
Okay, give me a minute. We go, okay, so we want to make this difference in the world. And, of course, we can go out, we can raise awareness and everything towards police brutality. But, like, how do you make a difference? And it's like any problem that you find that's existent in the world or existent within other people, go inward. Go inward. The answers lie within every single time. You are your best guru. Your higher self knows exactly how to lead you. And your ancestors are there and your spirit guides are there as well to protect you and guide you. So, you are never alone. So, distraction of the week, my daughter. Daily. But anyway, so it's time to raise our awareness. It's time to make new choices, new decisions. I feel like all of us are very much aware of what's not working. So why aren't we changing what's not working? I feel like even me has done the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result. And I don't get it. So I don't get the new result. I get the same result over and over again. So if you're dealing with this too, the change starts with you. And that's the basic message. And if, you know, you're dealing with toxic relationships and patterns that keep repeating themselves, the change starts with you. And that change can only happen if you take responsibility. You don't have to take whole blame, whole responsibility, obviously, but take a part of responsibility that is appropriate for the situation and your part to play in it. And so my point with the whole police brutality thing was just like, do your part to make a difference. Obviously, raise awareness is a good one, but like go inwards and find out what parts of you welcome this kind of behavior or excuse it. There's no excuse for unjustified killing. No excuse. No excuse. No excuse. No excuse. I don't care. 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 If you can take a white man into jail, if you can take a white man into fucking jail, I hate that it has to be white black shit, but I'm serious. You see the white men that do terrible, horrible things, walk into churches, nightclubs, any supermarkets, and just kill people, go to jail. So why doesn't everybody get that kind of opportunity? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. So what can you do? You can raise awareness. You can turn inwards and find out what parts of you need to be changed to change this. So like whether that's, you know, speaking out about it, bringing up the discussion with people that's important to you, trying to be less racist. Don't be racist. Like, work on not being racist. I know it's hard to be raised to be racist and to kind of flip the script that way, but you can do it. It can be done. So work on that. If there's any parts of you that have that present, work on it. Get rid of it, and also teach others to get rid of that. And teach others fairness and true equality, right? Through your own example. At least you're not naked. Did you pee? No, you didn't. Anyway, so it's time to close out the cycles, guys. And it starts with us. It starts with taking accountability and responsibility to make a change. And again, I don't want everybody to think, you know, like, oh, we're to blame for all the bullshit that's happened to us. No, but we are responsible to change ourselves so that we change the outcome in the future, so that we can truly move on and live a better life. So, she's kissing my head. I hope you guys gained something from this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Put a comment down below if you agreed or disagreed with anything that I said. Let's talk about it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, namaste.